Bitcoin bounced perfectly from my mid-trend line yesterday. So anyone who was watching yesterday's video knew that this is where I was looking for a long position, a good entry with a stop loss just below the trend line, and take profit while it's actually up in that higher range. So we could potentially be in some pretty significant profit on this potential trade idea right now. So guys, in today's video, we are going to be taking another look at Bitcoin. We're going to be reviewing what is going on with the charts, with the data, and sharing where I think Bitcoin is heading next. Let's roll the intro and get right down into it. Hi guys, welcome back to another video update. Today we are of course taking a look at Bitcoin again. We are paired up with Tether on the 4-hour Binance chart. And so following on from the previous videos, you can see we did bounce from our low trend line here, finding support again on those EMAs and SMAs, right? So you can see the red line being our 50 EMA, the yellow line being our 50 SMA, and good support being found there. We can also see that our trend line of our upper parallel channel here has, of course, also held up as good support. The wick here is showing us with great buying pressure and no closures below the 50 SMA. That is a key thing. You can even see that in the last few hours, we've tried and tested that 50 SMA once again, and no closures below it. Closing below the 50 SMA on the 4-hour time frame could lead us down back towards our trend line. But if we were to lose all of that, well, as I said yesterday, it's fair play to be moving down towards that lower trend line should that happen. So we're going to be paying close attention to what is going to happen here. But again, if we're in our long and we were to lose this 50 SMA, it would probably be an idea to close that position. But I think we have more to the upside to go. And so therefore, we're going to be in that long. And I have gone long actually on Bitcoin. I don't know what I'm saying. If I'm in that long, I am in that long for Bitcoin. And we are looking for that higher range around 54,425, I believe, is kind of where I'm targeting. Now, here with this, should we kind of come down lower than that trend line, it is going to get stopped out because there's no point in holding that trade if we do lose the trend line. In my opinion, we'll be coming down deeper. So we are looking for the long here. Now, if we take a look at this, we still have a good swing low over here. So let me grab hold of a horizontal line and show you right there at 50,625, right? That's the swing low. So my stop loss is below that, coming in, I think, at 50,005. I'm going to say 60 or something like that. So, pretty reasonable level there on BTC for the stop loss. I am looking for that long, and I do think that is the most probable scenario. Now, let's go ahead and bring up our stochastic RSIs. Our stochastic RSIs on the 1, 4, and 8-hour timeframes are in the oversold area. You can see that there's still potentially some progression to the downside on the 4-hour timeframe. Although oversold, our white line here hasn't yet made it down there. The white line being our average of the stochastic RSI. So we are looking for a cross of the yellow line going above the white line. When that happens, we'll be looking more bullishly on the market. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I don't mind holding the long position for a bit longer. From our divergence indicator, we have just dipped below the mid-level. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. We have lower highs on our RSI here, which is our yellow line. And what we'll be looking for will be whether or not we actually get a break to the upside, indicating that actually we end up with a bullish divergence of some kind. So I'm going to keep an eye on the divergence indicator, but for the most part, looking pretty good on that front as well. I'm not too concerned about that one. Now, from the volume point of view here, we can see that there was a pocket of volume coming in that was quite negative. And then outside of that, there hasn't been a huge amount of volume really kind of affecting the market here too much. You can see that since we kind of were correcting down, volume was dropping. As we started to rally back up, volume came up a little bit. And then basically we saw this big bit of volume taking us down towards our trend line. Outside of that, since a bit of a rally, volumes have dropped. So again, as prices cool back down towards our 50 SMA, volumes have dropped down. So I am looking at this quite positively rather than negatively. I am thinking that we are likely to see a bit more of a surge to the upside on BTC here. So all of that is actually, quite positive in my opinion for Bitcoin. Now, as I said, I've kind of gone long on Bitcoin here on the 4-hour time frame, and as I often say, if I am going to be trading, which I am trading on BitGet. BitGet is my go-to platform when it comes to my leverage-based trades. There is a link to BitGet in the description down below. If you haven't yet signed up to it, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Honestly, guys, I don't think you'll be disappointed. There are plenty of rewards and bonuses up for grabs. I think it's up to $30,000 depending on how much you deposit and trade on the platform, and there's lots of terms and conditions around that as well, depending on your country of where you are, whether your jurisdictions and your local laws are allowing you to participate. All of that wonderful stuff can be found in the description below and on the website for BitGet. So do check that out if you are looking for sign-up rewards and bonuses. Some examples are that the UK will not allow for that kind of marketing, so you're not eligible. But outside of some of those jurisdictions, you're not. You will be able to take part, not a problem. So let's jump back down into the charts here for Bitcoin. So here with Bitcoin, I am obviously in that long. That long is something that I'll keep an eye on and see whether that plays out as expected. So what else is going on? Well, if we zoom out, we obviously are still inside our bearish ascending wedge. I've spoken about this a number of times already. This is quite unfortunate, but I still see this one playing out at the moment. Unless, of course, we break out massively, the expectation will be a rally up, a rally down, rally up, rally down, rally up, and then probably finally break down. Okay, the only way you're going to break out of this is if the bulls can kind of breach the highs and take this trend line out of that wedge pattern. Okay, so we'll probably be looking for new all-time highs to kind of break it. So possible, yes. Probable, we'll yet to see. Okay, so really all eyes are on Bitcoin bulls, and will be on the Bitcoin spot ETFs as to whether or not volume profiles are going to allow for that surge to the upside. So we're still inside that pattern. That hasn't changed from a macro. The 200 EMA here on the 4-hour time frame is actually in a really good spot at 46,905 currently. It's pretty much in line with our low trend line, so that's a positive. And as I said before, the 50 SMA, currently 51,548, is acting as support. The 50 EMA at 51,040 also acting as support. So for now, unless we lose those, we should be thinking price is likely to go up. With the stochastic RSIs, everything kind of lining up quite nicely here. If we were to lose the 50 SMA, 50 EMA, then I think we are going to have to come down quite significantly and probably test out the low trend line of our ascending wedge, which will coincide with the 200 EMA. Okay, so if we were to do that, then obviously it's a short that we would want to go for, not a long. So having that tight stop loss below the previous swing low is the wiser decision in my humble opinion. But that's all it is, just my opinion. You've got to bear in mind, I am no financial advisor. I cannot offer you financial advice. All I can do is share my thoughts and opinions of the data in the charts as I personally see it. If you have access to a financial advisor, you should probably consult them. They will know your financial position a hell of a lot better than I would. But guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. But why don't you check out this one right here, where I'm talking about AVAX. It's got some huge potential for a pretty significant run to the upside.